I was eating dinner alone when the call came. The voice on the line wasn't hers, it was my daughter's school nurse. She was crying again, she said, her arms injured. My fork hung frozen halfway to my mouth. I hadn't seen my daughter in 2 weeks. Her mother's custody rotation had kept her away. She fell, the nurse added cautiously, as if repeating a story someone else had fed her. I drove the 2 hours in silence, no music, no thoughts, just the tires humming against the asphalt, swallowing the distance. When I arrived, my daughter sat on the couch, her arm in a makeshift sling. Her stepfather, the county sheriff, stood beside her, arms folded. My ex-wife lingered near the doorway, lips pressed tight. "She's fine," she said quickly. "It was an accident." But my daughter's eyes told a different story. They weren't pleading, they were warning. Later, when he stepped away for a call, she whispered the truth. He had broken it. "If I tell you, he'll break the other one." A hollow chill ran through me, not anger, not grief, something colder. Her mother heard it too. She said nothing. That silence became the one thing I never forgave her for. You can read a man's guilt by how quickly he changes the subject. The sheriff spoke about the weather, about football, about how she needed rest. Every word a test, every pause a challenge. My ex-wife hovered behind him, glancing between us like a coward waiting for permission to breathe. When I asked if they'd taken her to a hospital, the sheriff smirked. "She doesn't need one. It's just a sprain." The calm, rehearsed way he said it, almost daring me to argue, revealed everything I needed to know. I looked at my daughter again. Her small body shook as she fought back tears, the same quiet courage I'd once seen in her mother before she traded it for comfort and control. I left without saying goodbye. I didn't even close the door. I knew that if I spoke, I'd lose control, and control was all that could save her. I started small: photographs, dates, school absences, old bruises passed off as accidents. Then came the medical records, each bearing the same signatures, hers and his, never mine. I visited quietly under the pretense of dropping off gifts. Each time, I discovered something new, a mark, a change, a silence that hadn't been there before. Once, when I asked her alone in her room, she didn't answer. Instead, she showed me her notebook, childlike drawings of a man yelling, a woman watching, a little girl hiding behind a bed. That's when I realized this wasn't just abuse. It was ritualized, control disguised as family order. So I planned, not for revenge, but for precision. I recorded every visit, every word. When the sheriff called me unstable for caring too much, I let him think it. Let him believe I'd crack first. The truth. I was already broken. And broken things don't scream, they cut cleanly. 2 weeks later, an anonymous source sent me a copy of the sheriff's disciplinary record. No name, no note, just a warning hidden in plain sight. He'd been investigated 3 times for domestic incidents, all buried and signed off by his brother-in-law, head of the county board. That's how they played it, a web of favors and silence, with my daughter trapped in the middle. I didn't confront him. I waited. The following Friday, I showed up unannounced. Her mother opened the door, startled. Behind her, he stood, beer in hand, a smile sharp enough to cut. "What are you doing here?" he asked. I said nothing. I set the printed records on the table next to his badge. His eyes flicked over the pages. Slowly, color drained from his face, like someone watching his reflection fade. "You don't understand what you're getting into," he murmured. "Maybe not," I said. "But I understand what you did." My ex-wife looked between us, pale and trembling. For the first time, she said nothing. That silence told me she finally knew it was over. That night, I came back for my daughter. She waited at the window, suitcase packed. He tried to block the doorway, his badge gleaming in the low light. "You're not taking her anywhere," he said. I looked at him, then at her. Then I smiled. "Move," I said softly. He didn't budge, so I reached into my pocket, not for a weapon, but for my phone. I pressed play. His voice filled the room, recorded just 2 days earlier. "Tell your dad, and I'll break the other one." My ex-wife gasped. He froze. I stepped closer, never taking my eyes off him. "Sheriff," I said. "You're under investigation." I sent this recording to Internal Affairs an hour ago. Color drained from him. He stumbled back, breath ragged. My daughter slipped past him and clung to my side. He screamed then rage, fear, denial, but it all sounded small. Smaller than my daughter whispering, "Can we go home now?" We left without looking back. Months later, his badge was gone. Her mother avoided the cameras during the trial. The house sold quietly. I sat on my porch one night, my daughter asleep inside. Her arm had healed, though she still held it close when she dreamed. I replayed everything, the silence, the lies, the fear, and realized revenge isn't fire. It's ice. Slow. Patient. Unforgiving. He taught her pain, I taught her freedom. When I see her smile now, it's small, fragile, but real. She'll never know what I had to become to protect her, and she never will. Some truths aren't for children. They're for ghosts. I've already become one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to Cheating Stories Insight World for more gripping stories.